Hey guys, Lexus Driver here. Welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. Now, on this video, this is gonna be me talking about um, like um, like you know uh, something that I've always wanted to, something that I've been doing my in my life. Even when I was in college. Now, if you're wondering why I have a car here on my computer screen, um, what I've been doing, ever since I was high school and also during my time at college and maybe a bit of my time during when I was middle school, I have a very wild imagination. Ever since I first started watching movies and also developing my love for cars and every other vehicle out there on our planet, I really have a really wild imagination of making a really good fictional story. I was thinking of it. I was thinking of doing it as a book, but ever since movies were really a thing, it made me feel like I wanted to make a movie or TV show out of it. So. Anyways, the main reason why I have a car here, but not just this car. I also have another. So I have two Lexus vehicles and three Toyota vehicles, and these are all hybrid models. Now, you're wondering why I have these on my screen. Well, here's what I'm going to be talking about. What I'm going to talk about here is um, what I'm going to talk about here is a fictional story that I came up in my head. Um, I would say a movie series or a TV series and whatnot that I was writing on Microsoft Word a lot. This fictional story I came up with, I was inspired by two things. The movie The Bad Guys and also the video game LA Noire. Even though both of these take place in Los Angeles, but in two different time periods. LA Noire takes place in 1940s Los Angeles, while The Bad Guys takes place in present day Los Angeles. Even though they both take place in Los Angeles, this fictional story that was inspired to me, that got me inspired. This fictional story I made that was inspired by these two. This one actually takes place in America's capital city, Washington D.C. Now you're wondering why I choose Washington D.C. The reason why I choose Washington D.C. it's because when I was young, I actually grew up in a capital city, not Washington D.C. I When I was young, I grew up in a capital city of a country, another country, not here where I'm from. I'm not gonna say it just to keep this video going, but I was actually born and raised in a capital city in a country, not here in another country. I'm not gonna say it. Basically, why I choose Washington D.C. It's because number one, a lot of movies I watched, they that take place in the United States. They always take place in major cities in the United States: New York, Miami, Chicago, a bit of Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, literally every major city in the United States, especially Jacksonville, every major city in the United States, a lot of movies takes place in major cities in the United States. And the reason I choose Washington D.C. is because Washington D.C. it is a capital city, obviously, but in my personal opinion, I just feel like a lot of movies and TV shows didn't get a lot of love when it comes to these films set in the capital city. But I feel like the capital city is something you should never forget, when especially where you come from, because the capital city is actually where a country's government is in. So, and also another reason why I choose Washington D.C. is because Washington D.C. I mean, there aren't any skyscrapers. I did some digging about that, but I just feel like when it comes to a bit of tall structures in Washington D.C., it could go a long way when it comes to having it set in that city. So yeah, and now you're wondering why I have these cars on my screen here. Okay, so I have um, I have two Lexus vehicles and three Toyota vehicles. In a total, that would make five characters. Now, the main protagonist of my film that's going to take place in the main protagonist for my fictional story that takes place in Washington D.C. is my main protagonist would be driving this vehicle, the Lexus LS 500H. I know it's pretty expensive, I get that, but the reason I choose this one is because ever since Lexus became really my favorite vehicle, I just find it fitting for my main protagonist to be driving a Lexus vehicle. Um, uh, I mean, the Lexus LS. I know the hybrid model is pretty expensive, but I just hope that Lexus could have a base model of the hybrid. Without those fancy those fancy things you would find in the rear seat, like massage, um, maybe. But I think only the only thing they would keep would be the four-zone climate control. Like you can actually have your own climate control settings in the rear seat. But this is what the main protagonist of my fictional story set in Washington D.C. will take place. This one I just titled I just titled it "The Life and Crime in Washington D.C." It's a working title. I might think of a good title and whatnot, but for now, that's just what it is. So my main protagonist will be driving this vehicle, and my main protagonist, he is part of the MPD, which is the police department in Washington D.C. I mean, it would pretty much stand out for a detective driving this vehicle, but it's nowhere near as conspicuous as other luxury cars like Mercedes, BMW, Rolls Royce, and whatnot. But this is what my main protagonist will be driving: the Lexus LS 500H. Now, next vehicle I have is the Lexus ES. The Lexus ES, I think it's 350H or 300H. I totally forgot. But this is the ES hybrid. This one is going to be driven. Like I said, I have five vehicles, so that would mean five men. One is the leader. The other is close buddies who work together with the detective. And yes, they are part of the police department, but I would say unofficially. Just honorary members. So my next character is also male. He'll be driving this vehicle, the Lexus ES hybrid. And if I had to compare, if I had to compare, the Lexus LS, I would compare it to the Toyota Camry. The ES comparable with the Toyota Camry, but maybe on the Toyota Crown side. But this character here is also a member of the MPD, and yes, the film set in Washington D.C. I will not only just include human characters. I also include anthropomorphic characters and also maybe some mythical creatures technically mythical creatures like werewolves and heck I really had a wild imagination of there's human characters, there's anthropomorphic characters, there's werewolves, and also mermaids, etc., etc. Like I really have this wild imagination, but I just have to narrow it down as best I can. So my next character would be driving this vehicle. He's one of the men of the for the main protagonist. So this is the vehicle he would be driving, the Lexus ES 300H, or I should say the ES 300H, because I totally forgot what brand it is. So I would say this would be the ES 300H. Next up is the Toyota Camry. Now, for all the Toyota vehicles of my characters that are going to be driving, they're going to be driving the higher grade models because I just like to keep it as good as possible. But at the same time, it's more how should I say the budget thing. So my next character, he would be driving this one, the Toyota Camry XLE. Now, the new Camry that's now released here in the Philippines and countries around the world, it only comes in a hybrid model. So that basically means that they're going to be driving hybrid electric vehicles. So this is my next character would be driving this vehicle, the Toyota Camry XLE. The fourth male character, they'll will be driving this one, the Toyota Crown Platinum. It's the top of the line Toyota Crown sold in America, and I really hope the Crown still continues that legacy, because the reason why the United States started selling the Toyota Crown into their country, it's because this is to replace the Toyota Avalon. The Toyota Avalon, it's no longer in production, so they just decide to have the Toyota Crown to be sold in in the United States. And I'm super okay with the Toyota Crown being sold in America, because the Toyota Crown, it's this vehicle is not just sold in Japan, it's sold in many countries around the world. And for those who are asking, unfortunately, we don't have the Toyota Camry sold here. The no no no, what am I saying? Unfortunately, we don't have the Toyota Crown sold here in the Philippines. I wish we could, but the problem is there's like so many problems like happening when it comes to new vehicles, and there are certain vehicles that still haven't made a comeback yet. So my fourth male character, who is also one of the men, will be driving this vehicle, the Toyota Crown Platinum. Now, for the fifth and final male character, who's going to be one of the men of the main protagonist, he'll be driving this vehicle, the Toyota Corolla Hybrid XLE. And yes, I am so glad that Toyota has finally built the Toyota Corolla Hybrid XLE, because when the Corolla Hybrid came into the market. It only came in a few grades, and there's no fancy features. But right now, when Toyota has the Corolla Hybrid, they finally have the top of the line model called the Corolla Hybrid XLE. Now this one is totally top of the line for a Corolla Hybrid, and and this is the vehicle, as I said, he'll be driving. Now, if you're wondering why all the main characters are driving sedans, it's because this one I like to reflect to the time when I grew up in a capital city. The vehicles my parents and I we ride on. The vehicle I grew up with as a kid is a sedan, and I didn't grow up riding in a Lexus. I actually grew up riding in a Camry. The Camry is like a vehicle that's embedded in my brain for a long time, and it's always been in my blood for a long time, because I really grew up riding in a Toyota Camry as a kid when I was young. From a preteen to a teenager, etc. So yeah, and also my five characters, all but two are Americans. So I actually have three American characters. The main protagonist is American. One of his one of his men is American. Another man is American, but two are foreign nationals. So the two foreign nationals, if you want to know, one is British and the other would be Canadian. Now, if you're wondering why I went with this one, well, when I watched The Penguins of Madagascar, I really got inspired to have I really got inspired to have characters like that. I like to combine, which made me combine, the main protagonist of LA Noir and the main protagonist of the Penguins of Madagascar, which in that case would be Skipper. So my main protagonist would be like a combination of those characters. So um, what I was gonna say. Um, the main protagonist, as I said, five characters, but two are foreign nationals. One is the main protagonist is American. The second character is American. The third character is American. Fourth character is British, and the fifth character. Uh, I would choose either Canada or Australia, but let's see. But I would choose. I think I would choose Canada for just for the time being, if it works and whatnot. So and also um, five of these men. One is one the main protagonist is actually going to handle the is going to be handling anthropomorphic characters. He's a human detective, but he's going to be handling the anthropomorphic characters and. The main just to bring back the my main protagonist will be driving this vehicle, and he's the one who will be handling the anthropomorphic characters. Um, what else? Um, ah, okay. So um, the another American character who is um, another American character who's the scientist. That one I'm actually gonna include. I'm actually gonna include him on when he fell in love with a mermaid. With a mermaid, even though Washington D.C. is not a coastal city, it's actually situated next to the Potomac River. So I would say that would make sense. But for any of you guys who are currently living in Washington D.C. or have known Washington D.C., let me know in the comments down below how deep is the Potomac River, because. I looked at the map of Washington D.C. Washington D.C. is not a coastal city, but it's actually seated next to the Potomac River. So comment down below how deep is the Potomac River, and um, what's this? The that character is actually like he's a scientific expert, and uh, just give me some time to think. Just bear with me, guys. Um, I would say he would be driving. Yeah, I would say that character with expertise. I'd say he would be driving. He'd be driving this vehicle, and the next character who will be handling the mythical creature is the werewolf. The next character is also human. So the scientific character, which I would say which is actually inspired by one of the penguins in the Penguins of Madagascar, Kowalski. Um, that character actually has scientific expertise. So I would say he'd be driving this vehicle, and yeah, so that's his expertise. Now, for the character who will be handling the werewolf characters, that one was that one where I got the that werewolf vibe. That one is relatively new because there was actually a movie and TV show from Australia. It's animated, and an Australian animated film and an Australian animated TV series that actually shows. That actually shows werewolves. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say the title because I'm pretty sure it's obvious. So for that one, for that one, the that character would be that character would be Canadian, and I haven't what I'm saying right now when I show you guys these characters and when I show you guys these vehicles of the respective characters I have in my head, this is not going to be official. I'm still working out the kinks. So I would say he would be driving this vehicle, or this vehicle, or maybe the Camry. I don't know. I'm just working as best I can on making the final thought. But for now, this is just what I'm talking about right now. So what? So just to recap. Of all the five men in this fictional story I have in my head, one will handle the anthropomorphic characters. Two will handle the mermaids. Yeah, and the third one will be handling the werewolves, while the rest will just handle like the normal human stuff. So five cars and five men in this fictional story I made. It could be make up into for the males, it could make up into a spin-off, and then if you can catch my drift or something. Um, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video. Now, this one's a pretty relatively long video I made, but I just wanted to talk about, now that I already finished college, currently I'm still looking for a job, just to earn a living, and also to build some experience of being in a work environment before I actually pursue my own path. In making films or a TV show of a fictional story. But anyways, that's all I have for this video. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated on whatever I post on my YouTube video. And do drop a like on this video. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video. And excuse me, that's all I have for this video. If you want to see more content, I'll link an info card up here, and also a lot of end screens right here as usual. But anyways, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah. So yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, and have a good day, everybody.